Welcome to Move Like This, brought to you by the Accounting Move Project and sponsored by Moss Adams and Sapro. On this podcast, we share ideas and hear from guests about how they find, retain, develop, and advance women and other underrepresented groups in their accounting firms. Now, on to our guest. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Move Like This. I am so excited today to be talking to two of the amazing women behind the Accounting and Financial Women's Alliance. Today we have Cindy Stanley, who is the executive director, and Shane Schaefer, the events and education director. So thank you so much, ladies, for being here today.
Well, thank you. We're so excited to be here, and we just really appreciate the partnership we have with you and with the Move Project. So we're very excited to be here today.
That's excellent. So let's start off with the fact that of something that you just said is the Accounting and Financial Women's Alliance, or AFWA, has been supporting the work of the Accounting Move Project since 2010. So I want to start off by thanking you, first of all, and say that without people like you that believe in this work, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So it is absolutely just incredible that, you give us the support that you do. But I realize I don't know the full history of how AFWA and Move initially learned about each other and started working together. So I'd love to hear some of that history that you can share.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, I mean, just to really start, AFWA's founding principle is really to enable women in all accounting and finance fields to achieve their full personal, professional, and economic potential, and really to contribute to the profession. And so that's really kind of what we are all about and what the organization about. And as you know, the MOVE project was really designed to measure the status of women in accounting and to collaborate on proven and practices that really advance and retain women. So the two of us working together really is really kind of a natural alliance. So we are, been involved with it for quite some time, and my understanding is that, back around in 2009, the MOVE project approached AFWA to partner with them. And so we've been working together ever since. And, when that all came about, we were like, yes, this is, what we're about. This is what the MOVE project is about. It's really a natural alliance for us to work together. And so that first report then was actually released back in 2010 that, when we got involved. And the reason for the study really was to document, the depth and talent of women that they bring to the profession. And really, the discussion kind of worked around, what happens to firms when their aspirations for advancement are blocked. How does that impact them, and how can it benefit them to not block those aspirations? And I was looking at some statistics, and I found this really interesting that when we did the 2010 project, 51% of all firms, women accounted for 51% of all the firm employees, and only 40% of those were senior managers. And at that time, only 17.4% ever made partner. I mean, that's a staggering statistic. I mean, we've come a long way, and today it's around 39%. So I think that really says a lot for how things have changed. But when I saw that 17.4, I went, wow, that's amazing. So I think the MOVE project hopefully has helped, shone a light on that a little bit, and to help make more of an awareness. And so we really love being involved with the MOVE project, and so it's been a great partnership over the years, so we're very thrilled about it.
Oh, we are too. And
And Shane wanted to
Yeah,
go ahead.
so well, you come to the conference, Bonnie, and this signature event, we're excited to recognize the best CPA firms for equity leadership And the best CPA firms for women, at the signature event, a celebration of the Women Who Count National Conference last year in Reno. So again, this year we're going to Hilton Head, and the signature event is on Thursday night. So we're excited that, if the firms are there, we'd love to invite them and celebrate with them also.
Yeah, and I think those firms that are recognized through the MOVE project are just so important because they have really played such an important role in changing some of those statistics. So we want to thank you for your work and your research and all that and helping make this project, come to fruition every year because we know how big of a project it is.
It definitely is. And I have a really great team that helps me with all the research and the conversations with firms. So yeah, it is the proverbial village that makes it happen, that's for sure. Now, speaking of history, AFWA, as you mentioned, was founded in 1938. And not that you have personally been around anywhere near that long, but I would love to hear what you think are the most significant advances and some of the remaining frustrations too that women in accounting and finance have seen since AFWA's founding or getting close to 100 years ago.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad I haven't been around that long, but
100 years.
some days it feels like it, but no, we actually have a very rich history, and it's so interesting. And our founder is actually Ida Brew, who started the organization. She was the first woman to ever get a CPA license. So we have been around a while, and so we just very much still kind of hold true to what we have always believed in, and that is helping women in accounting and finance. And I think the thing is right now is that the landscape is changing, whereby more women are becoming partners. They are more involved in the firms, and with some of the recent DEI initiatives, options for women are really changing. And I think COVID, showed us a lot in terms of, as bad as it was, it did help people understand you can work from home and be successful, and you can have some different work schedules and be successful. And so, advancing women in accounting is really an important goal for promoting gender equality and enhancing diversity in the profession. And so, um, we do have, some strategies and so forth that are important to the advancement of the women in accounting. So, some of those involve like, mentorship programs, leadership development, networking opportunities, just a lot of different things that are really helping women. And I think those are some of the things that have really come about and have really played an important role in changing things for women within the industry. It seems like there's more visibility, more recognition as we celebrate achievements of women in the industry. And so, I think we're seeing a lot more of that. And so I think that's been very positive, that there is an awareness to women in the field and what role they play. Just through some, flexible work policies, through different training and development, just some of the advocacy for different things that are happening for gender diversity and inclusion within accounting profession, and the broader business community, supporting initiatives and policies aimed at promoting equal opportunity for women in leadership positions and addressing barriers to advancement. And I think that's been some of the biggest changes, is just the recognition of it, being able to really kind of recognize that, hey, there's an issue here. We need to look at it, and there's a lot more research around it too. And I think that's been very positive and very beneficial to see some of the research that's taken place in terms of, how, back when we look at that 17.4% statistic and compared to how that's changed now, that research is ongoing and looking at some of those things and what it's doing for the organization, for professional organizations. And, we'd like to think that, our organization has played a part in helping to change some of that just by the things we do and how we've helped our members grow in those positions. Because with AFWA, we are kind of that area where they can get some of those tools and support that they need to be able to advance themselves within their career. And I think by advancing some of those initiatives and strategies, organizations such as AFW can really help create more inclusive and equitable profession for all professionals. So it's not just about women, it's just really about the whole equity and inclusion. So I think that's one of the biggest changes I think that's taken place. When you look back, our founder, she at one point wasn't even allowed to take the CPA exam. And where we're at now, look how much that's changed. So I think that's something that we're very excited about as far as how the organization has helped move that and change things within the profession.
Well, and it's the education side of it too. I think that we provide not only, we do two major conferences a year, the Connect Advanced Lead, which is our leadership conference, which great lineup this year if you're looking to come to Newport in June. Great speakers there to grow not only professionally, but your leadership skills. And then, we also have the national conference, which we're one of the top 15 national conferences in the United States. We're in Hilton Head this year. But again, 20 to 23 CPE credits to come. And it's not just to come and get educated, but it's to have an adventure. We are in Hilton Head Island and there's lots to do. So come not only get educated and have fun, but that's what AFWA provides. And that's not all we do. If you remember, we have the 12 free CPEs. So we try to provide, and that's virtual. So online, the leadership conference is going to be virtual and on and in person, which is the first time we're doing it in person, which we're excited about. And then, obviously, about the conference, Bonnie, you've been a speaker there. So great speakers there, great entertainment, great education, great all around fun, networking, and maybe you'll meet your next business partner. You never know.
Yeah. And I would say, having attended the last 2 years, it's great to just meet other women in the profession and share stories and create connections and offer support. I attend this conference and I attend a lot of others, but the other one I consistently go to is the Association for Accounting Marketing annual summit. And it's really interesting in a way. It's like, marketers are kind of islands in their firms and that we're all kind of, right brains in a sea of left brains. And it's interesting because there's almost therapeutic in a way to just kind of get together with others who deal with a lot of the same things. And I feel that way about the Women Who Count conference as well. And that, people can kind of let their guard down a little bit and they're in a safe space and they can share their excitement, but also some of the frustrations. And I feel like there's a lot of collaboration that really takes place there. So
It's interesting that you bring that up because that's one of the things we've heard about that conference from people that come to it that have not been there before, and how they say how it's just such a supportive environment, and that it is really uplifting when they come to our conference. And so it is very different. I mean, I've attended other conferences outside the accounting and finance professions, and it is very different. And that's one of the things I really love about AFWA is just the people involved in it are just so uplifting and so supportive. And it's really a great opportunity. And we had a lady that came to the conference this year from Alaska, and she joined after the conference just because of her experience at the conference. She says, I just wanted to attend a conference where there were women involved, and I came to this, and she's so excited we're getting her involved. And so I think that's a common thread of people that come to and get involved in our organization, and how it uplifts them and how they can move forward within their own personal growth.
yeah, I agree.
So, and then, I guess, and the second part of your question about, in terms of frustrations, there's still a lot of corporations out there. I think the thing that frustrates me is that there's still a lot of corporations out there that really don't understand um, how beneficial having a diverse staff can really benefit a business. There's so much research and statistics around that, and how businesses that have a diverse group of people involved with their company are so much more successful. And it's interesting when you look at some of those statistics. So that would be one thing I would love to see continue to change, is just because I don't want to see, and I feel like there's a little bit of people getting away from some of the diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so I'm hoping that that doesn't happen, that remains in the forefront, because I think it's really made a difference in the success of some of the companies.
Yeah, I agree. And on that note, I just mentioned the Association for Accounting Marketing Summit. I will be speaking on overcoming DEI skepticism there. So,
Oh,
uh,
yay. That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's kind of because there's a lot of pushback now. And
Mhm.
it's one of those things you've seen, or we've all seen such great progress. And to suddenly see some of that commitment starting to wane, and some of the work like is just
Yeah.
people are pulling back. And I know there's a lot of areas where you have to focus, but in a profession that has such a talent shortage, which seems to come up on every one of these podcasts, um you know turning away from some of these efforts to create more inclusive environments and to broaden the search for new talent and looking at ways to retain the talent you have is just completely counterproductive to me.
Mhm.
So I completely agree on that.
Yeah. Well,
So
that's great. That'll be a great topic.
yeah, well, hopefully so.
Might have to have you do that one for AFWA.
Yeah, I'll send you the information.
All right.
So as two women who are very plugged into the accounting and financial professions, obviously, what do you hear from members or from your own observations are the biggest changes on the horizon?
Yeah, so, really kind of in keeping in line with the theme for our 2024 MOVE project, I really feel like the private equity is changing the accounting and career paths along with the DEI. One benefit of the private equity is that it's really driving an increased demand for professionals with specialized knowledge and skills that, such as financial reporting, valuation, regulatory compliance, and tax accounting. So there's a little bit of difference of the demand for the type of accounting person that's needed, not just a CPA. So I think that's one of the benefits of the private equity. But as it continues to grow and evolve, the accounting field will need to adapt to meet the changing needs of the clients and regulators. And it's our hope that firms will recognize what an important role women can play in that expansion, because along with the private equity infusion into the accounting and finance fields, it's changing that environment in how people succeed, how they move up that ladder for success. And so I think that's going to be something that I think we need to really be aware of and be at the forefront to help our members. Because I mean, there are some, increased opportunities, there's new leadership roles, there's possibly some new networking and mentorship opportunities with private equity, possibly more training and development, flexible work arrangements, and then supportive culture. Those are all things that can come with private equity, but also it changes how the firms function. So I think that's going to be the challenge, where it's going to come about with how that's changing the environment. And AFWA is really kind of a perfect training ground for women looking to advance in those areas. So membership truly can benefit you as you try to deal with that changing environment with the private equity firms that are getting involved with some of the other companies. The DEI still to me remains a cornerstone of progressive and successful professional service firms, because like when you look at accounting firm leaders, they're kind of teetering on the edge, and they got to remember that there's two kinds of DEI, policies built to scaffolding and those that are intended as a framework. So I think that's the difference between the two is just really important to keep in mind as we move forward. And, you know, just looking at the whole DEI initiative, and I'm thrilled you're doing a class on that, because I think that's still so important to the success and changes that are needed to help companies grow, and to, how those initiatives have really changed, the work environment. And, it's always so disheartening to hear stories from people, in the panel that we did last year at our conference, where they were talking about how they were discriminated against, and for different reasons, whether it's, your ethnicity, your gender, or whatever it may be, just your role within a company sometimes can be, where you're discriminated against. So it's really hopeful. I'm hopeful that, those DEI initiatives will continue. And so that's kind of one of the areas I'm most concerned about.
Agreed. I was going to only add on there, our panel, one of the surprising DEI things was healthcare for women. Like, I had no idea that,
Yeah.
Women were not being tested. It was all based on a man, for pharmaceutical drugs. So those, I have never heard anything like that before. So, and I don't think people out there truly understand the full DEI initiative in that.
I knew some of that history, but knowing that women weren't included in clinical trials until 1990
Yeah.
was appalling to
Yeah.
me.
Yes, absolutely.
And, that is why, and things like heart attacks are the number one killer of women, yet we exhibit our symptoms much differently than men do. And just knowing that, and there's so much work that needs to be done on all of these fronts. And yeah, it was a real honor to moderate that panel and be a part of that discussion, because that was such a great group of people that you gathered there.
Yes, and thank you again for doing that for us, because it was we thought it was very successful, and just the information that was shared with that panel, I think was just really eye-opening to everybody. And so thank you again for doing that for us.
Oh, happy to. So AFWA has more than 55 local chapters and
7.
57.
Yep.
Okay. And there are, I mean, we've spent some time talking about the conferences and such like that, but there are tons of benefits that you provide to members. So I'd love you to tell our listeners a little bit more about some of those benefits and why they should consider joining um, AFWA to really partake in all the wonderful things that you offer.
Well, thank you. And our goal really is to build the largest nationwide network of individuals supporting women in accounting and finance. And, you don't have to just be in the accounting and finance fields to be a member of our organization. So, that's the first message we want to get out, that, AFWA really has something to offer for everyone, no matter what level you're at in your career. And I think we just got off of a possible partner call, and they were asking us about the organization, and we were like, we really kind of cover the full gamut. We go from people that are just getting into their career to people that are retiring and want to mentor those people. So it's really kind of a wonderful organization, and you don't see that in a lot of organizations, to have that depth and that span as far as where the membership goes. And as we just mentioned, we do a lot of leadership development, networking, and mentoring. Those are just some of the intangible benefits that our members will receive. And what's really fun about AFWA is I've seen women in our organization go from being afraid to even speak at a meeting to now they're one of the leaders in our organization. And so that's been very exciting to watch that journey of people. And, we've got some people that, they have lifelong members that, attribute their success to AFWA, that, they met that person through AFWA that helped them with their career. And they've got friendships across the country, and so the one thing that I think is unique about AFWA is, everyone has a story as to why they're a member of AFWA, but in a lot of them, they join for one reason, but they stay for another. And I think that's very unique in an organization. And, we've got a lot of different things that we do. Like, for example, we've got a new member deals program that provides discount to members on everything from dinner reservations to travel discounts, theme parks, you name it. And that alone covers the cost of the dues. So just by using that one or two times, you've covered the cost of your dues to belong to the organization. But you have to be a member to access it. And we've got our job board that we have that is really proven to be a significant benefit to our members and our many of the employers that are our partners, because with the job board, it's a benefit for employers and our members that are looking to make career changes. So and I think one other thing that's unique about AFWA is our partners. They all play kind of a unique, kind of a key role in our organization, and many of them provide additional benefits beyond what we provide. So for example, like ADP is one of our partners, and they provide their guide every year, and so access to the tax guide that our members get. Some of our other partners are that they provide different benefits that are in addition to what we provide for our members. And so we're always looking for new partners, and they're looking for that ambassador type organization, and AFWA is really fits that role for them. And so we're proud to be that, because we feel like we've got a lot that we can offer. And the one thing too that we also provide is scholarships for those that are pursuing their advanced education. We do a lot of fundraising, as for the scholarship fund that we have, and we really connect individuals in the accounting and finance field, which creates lifelong opportunities and friendships. And our chapters, as you mentioned, we got 57 chapters, and they really play an integral part of the organization. They're doing such amazing work in their communities, and they're for our members as well. And so, just their work that they're doing, so many of them are involved, like, in community activities. They do their own scholarship fundraising efforts, and just really trying to build that organization within their community. And so our chapters are really a great extension of the national organization to be able to kind of add that extra level of benefit to belonging to AFWA. So they're just a lot of other things.
If you're looking at a dollar figure, everybody was like, hello, your ROI on your membership dues, those type of things. Our dues is around $199, give or take, if you have a chapter if there are chapter dues on there. So let's just say $250. With the 12 free CPEs, which is a virtual CPE session, 50 minutes a year. I've done some research. I think $75 to $80 is about what one CPE is. And so 12 free, that's $960. So everybody's trying to, figure out why join or whatever. So $250 for $960. I mean, we're worth the value. As you said, Bonnie, just, being there and getting world-class education from speakers like yourself for the 12 free CPE virtual session. I think that definitely is first class. Again, talking about the national conference, top 15. So we pride ourselves in having esteemed speakers at all of our conferences. But there's lots of other avenues too. I didn't even know this about a board member. It's all about our stories, as Cindy was saying. We had a board member who must have been a while ago, because she took the ticker off a cork board in college, learned about AFWA, called the number, got involved in her college, got involved in the Seattle chapter, And lo and behold, she met her business partner. And I think she's semi-retired now, selling that partnership and business, and still on the board of AFWA. So that is our story. And we're looking for those stories out there of how we can help others, have that story with AFWA.
Oh, I think that is awesome. Now, I am going to go into some fun questions, but I would love for you, not that these haven't been fun, but I please share the website and where people would go to learn more and join and all of that.
So if you're interested in getting more involved with us, you can go to afwa.org, and there is a wealth of information there. And we would love to have you get involved with us because we've got such a great organization, and we're really, the leadership that's involved with AFWA, they are so dedicated and such a great group of people that are trying to advance the organization and continuously wanting to improve things. So hope you'll join us at afwa.org, and there's a join button there that you can click on to sign up for membership and get involved with a local chapter. And if there's not a chapter in your area, we have a virtual chapter that everybody can belong to. And so lots of different opportunities to get involved. And we'd love to see you at our Connect Advance Lead Conference coming up in June. That's going to be in person, and since it's just in Newport, Kentucky, which is right outside Cincinnati, and I'm very excited about that. We're actually going to be installing our new officers and directors for the upcoming year at that event, and so it's another fun event. So hopefully you can come too, Bonnie. We'd love to see you there.
I hope.
And love to have you as a member. And we also have partnership opportunities. So if you're a corporation looking to partner with an organization to help promote your company and to our members, we've got some great packages available for that as well.
We like to be that ambassador out there for the partners. We just got off the phone with Chewy, and they were so excited that they were able to give a check to a scholarship winner in person at the signature event. And it was we do, accounting and finance scholarships in depth. We definitely vet them. And the lady was so excited, she walked off with a check. So the big 3x5 check. So we're very excited to partner with those people to help women, be better, reach for their goals. So
Excellent. I love it. So the last little questions are more of a personal level, but I want to know when you were 5 years old, what you wanted to be when you grew up. Shane, kick us off.
5 years old, I really have no idea what I was doing when I was 5 years old, but I will tell you, I did ride a motorcycle and go-kart race when I was 5 years old. I am not that at the moment, but that was my tomboy side of me. So I didn't know what I would be doing, when I was 5 years old, but always having fun and finding an adventure, I'm sure.
Excellent. What about you, Cindy?
I was laughing because I'm like, I have no clue what I wanted to do when I was 5 years old, other than go outside and play.
I like it. I think we
But that being said, I was probably looking to go ride a horse or something somewhere. I don't know. But I've just always enjoyed being outdoors. And so I don't, honestly can't even tell you what I wanted to do, but I've always been inclined to be in some type of business. So I'm guessing that was there a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, we should take the advice of getting outdoors and playing more as adults. Yeah, like we did when we were children. I was the same way. I would be climbing trees and,
Yes.
I mean, I'm full on Gen X. So we would be kind of shoved out of the house and told not to come back till the street lights come on. And we would discover all kinds of probably good and bad things to do, but enjoyed it thoroughly.
I always laugh because where I grew up, there was like one end, it was a small town, and there was one end of the town on this side and the other town. And during the day, we could be anywhere in between there. And parents they didn't care, but we were anywhere in between there. And we just put on a lot of miles every day.
Um, Well, if you were given the chance to travel anywhere for free, you don't have to worry about time off and all those things that impact our ability to travel. Where would you go and why? Cindy.
I personally want to go to Australia. I'd love again to be outside, and my dream is to scuba dive in Australia. I would love to go and just that's the one dream place I'd love to go. I just think it's peaceful, and it would be fun to go there.
Well, I'm going to be living Cindy's dream
I
because
know
I
that's the
am
bad part. She's gonna
going.
do it.
Yeah, I am actually going to Australia and New Zealand in
Yeah.
December. My husband is an Ironman, and we're going to the World Championships in Taupo, New Zealand. So that one's going to come true. So that would not be that dream is coming reality. But I would
Well, what
love.
I haven't told you, Shane, is I'm coming along.
Oh,
That's
you're
the
going to
free part where I get to tag along.
absolutely. You pay for the ticket. I don't care.
No, that's the free part.
Oh yeah, that's the most expensive part. So yeah,
As you can see, Bonnie, we have a lot of fun.
yeah. I want to cruise around the world. I want to get on a cruise like in Florida and like go over to Europe or whatever. I want to just hang out and cruise to all those wonderful port locations. I like to cruise.
I love both of those. I have to say, Australia and New Zealand is also on my bucket list.
Is
And
it? Yeah.
yes, I really want to go. And I hate that I missed an opportunity. My husband's sister and brother-in-law actually used to spend our summers in Australia,
Mm.
and we just never could work it out to go visit them while they were there. So
Oh,
have to figure it out at some point for sure.
Yeah.
I'm working on the timeline right now as we speak. So I'll keep you posted on what we're doing.
All right.
And finally, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Mine would be to clone myself because I need to be in so many meetings in so many places at once.
Mine was gonna be something similar that I was like speed, so I could try to get things
Yeah.
done faster and go more place. So a speed demon of some sort would be
Right.
great because you can't be at all places at the
We
same
can do
time.
more then, Shane. We can do
Exactly.
more.
Exactly.
I think we've come full circle in this conversation, and that as women who work,
Uh,
always trying to juggle so many things. So I think both of those superpowers would be valuable probably to all of us and many others too.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. We really enjoyed talking with you and sharing some things about AFWA. And so thank you so much for this opportunity.
And I
Well,
have this one little quote to leave you with, Bonnie. Alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much. So that's why we're looking for you guys out there and you, Bonnie, anybody who can help us and support us at our mission of what we're really trying to do to support women.
I love it. And thank you both so much for taking the time to be here and have this wonderful conversation. And I look forward to seeing you both again soon.
Yes, hopefully soon. Thanks.
Thanks.
And if you need to reach us, just find us on the website. Our link to our emails are there. So reach out anytime.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to Move Like This, brought to you by the Accounting Move Project and sponsored by Moss Adams and Sapro. If you'd like to learn more, visit our website at accountingmoveproject.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends and colleagues too. I'm your host, Bonnie Buell-Russick, and until next time, keep moving forward.